You turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie.
What is up, guys? Levi Peterson here, back at it with another video. Today is going to be a fun video. As I mentioned in the last video, today is going to be a tour of all my tanks, my brother's tank, and my dad's tank, which is in his office. So we're going to check all of our tanks out. My sister has a small tank too, but I'm not going to show that because it's just a couple Danios and like a 3-gallon or something. She would like to get some guppies, so I'll probably give her my guppies that are in the turtle tank over there. And we will, on the next video, we're going to have a separate video just for Squirt, because he is going to get taken away and released back into the wild. There's a swamp out back in our woods that is really deep, and it has some nice food for him, like small little dinky tadpoles and some worms out there, and there'll be plenty of food for him. And there's a few months left of warm weather, so he should have enough time to adjust to the colder weather and everything and be able to hibernate back there. Other than that, we're going to start a tour video of all my tanks. I'm not going to tour the saltwater tank because it doesn't have anything in it except for a hermit crab, and there's an emerald crab in there somewhere. They just kind of tagged along on the live rock that I bought and everything. So we're going to start out with my favorite hexagon tank, brackish tank, 25 extra high, and then we're going to head downstairs and show you my brother's 55-gallon, and then we'll head to my dad's office, and he has a 32-gallon bow front, I believe. So we're going to go check that out in a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and run over here to the hexagon tank, and we're going to start this tour. Alright guys, so this tank sits, like, here's my door to walk in my room. It sits right over in this corner. I really love it. I do need to clean up the lookout area. But I really love the way this just looks. It's just mesmerizing. I can sit on my cajon for days and just stare at this thing. And then there's obviously the turtle tank. I don't have the light on right now because he's probably going to get taken out later today. And that's going to be a whole separate video. So we're going to come a little closer. This is a top fan hexagon tank. It's very nice and very clear water. I keep my water around 78 degrees in this tank. This water is changed weekly. I do a 20% water change, so almost down to right about there, and then fill back up with well water. I got these Serpé Tetras the other day because my mom would like a little more color in this tank, because I used to have neons, but they got a sickness called the neon tetra disease, and they just died. Then I also threw the Blind Cave Tetras in here that were in the 10-gallon, which used to be where that Spartan pillow is, which is right there actually. But we're getting rid of that, and then there's the other Blind Cave Tetra that's a little bigger. I did add some Crabimpsis cichlids to this tank. 2 of these guys, the other one's somewhere in there hiding. And then we got some Yo-Yo Loaches, Danio, Red-Eye Tetras, Pristilla Tetras, Penguin Tetras, or Hockey Stick Tetras. It's kind of just your preference. We do have a Clown Pleco and a Bristlenose Pleco in here. They like to hide underneath this fake piece of driftwood. I don't usually go fake, but I just figured it looked cool. And there's the Pleco actually back on Anubis. Favorite of them all is the brown ghost knife. This thing is a massive brown ghost knife, and I love it. It has a very fun personality. When I feed the fish, it always comes up to the top, and you can pretty much hand feed it. It's very cool. It usually sits down there. I really don't know why it's up there. Sometimes it goes up there just to chill, I guess. A lot of time it spends its time on the bottom. Sometimes I get a little freaked out because knife fish like to just lay on the bottom, just sit there, and they don't really do anything. But I guess that's normal. I looked it up online and everything, and it's totally normal for them to lay on their sides. So this is one of my favorite tanks. Reason why is because it's just mesmerizing to watch the Priscilla's school and everything. Everything just kind of schools, and it's just mesmerizing. I love it. Eventually I would like to get some more Hockey Stick Tetras, but we'll go from there in a little while. I think I'm just going to let this tank be for a little bit. It is due for a water change in the next couple days, because I like to keep my water very clear and pristine. So next we're going to kind of give you a quick rundown on saltwater. There's one hermit crab in there somewhere, It's actually right there sitting on top of this fake coral. I have a power head going in there right now because we're trying to fix something. So we're going to get it fixed and get it back up and running. And then there's an emerald crab in there somewhere. There is a bristleworm in here somewhere, or a boppet worm. It's one of the two because I couldn't really tell, but it came out on a piece of live rock and it like hurt my hand really bad. It kind of stung a little bit. Now we're heading over to this brackish tank. We got some feeder guppies in there for this guy right here, which, oh my, he just ate. Oh, he must have ate 2 mollies because I had 4. He must have just hammered the mollies because he has a fat stomach. They're kind of just like snakes. They can eat something that's like bigger than their head and they can just swallow it. And they can last on something for a long time. He could probably eat one of those mollies and last almost a month without eating another fish. Then we have some bumblebee gobies. These guys are always fun to watch. There's 2 left in here. My night gobies that I used to have chowed them all up. I used to have 13 bumblebee gobies in here, but they all got chowed up. There's another one back there. There is some flounders in here somewhere. I saw one the other day. They have been hiding more often now because I feel like the eel is kind of scaring them off and keeping them more docile or solitary. And then there is the glassfish. Pardon the glass, it is a little dirty right now. I do need to clean it off. And this is also due for a water change. I do all my water changes usually on Fridays or Saturdays after work. But I would like to get some more glassfish eventually, but I'm going to let it be for right now because this brackish tank is going very well. As you can see, there's stuff starting to grow on the back of the tank, and it's just doing very well. Eventually I would like to get some live feedings of this moray eel, but he is just a marvelous addition to this tank, and this is his tank. Anything goes in that cave, he just eats it. I love watching him eat. One day a feeder guppy kind of swam down in there and he just slowly just chopped it, and it was crazy. To clean the algae in this tank, I have nearite snails. Nearite snails can go, well, they're normally freshwater snails. I got a couple of nearites in here. They can go all the way to saltwater if you acclimate them just right. I have 4 nearites in here. I see 3 at the moment, but they are very good at cleaning, and it's just awesome to see. I love my snails. Then over here we got the 25 extra tall pond plants on the top. I love the way they look in this water. I have a lot of plants in this tank. I do need to figure out something to do. There's a little bit of hair algae on here, and there's just normal brown algae that can be eaten by a snail or a bristlenose or some type of pleco, because this clown pleco that is in here is not doing its job. There was a snail on that leaf this morning, and it is spotless. Like, that is the cleanest leaf I've seen in a long time. I have already started to know some growth in these plants. Let's see. The Indubis is starting to grow like crazy, and where is it? This stuff has almost doubled in size, and I've had it in here for maybe a few days, and it's growing like crazy. So is this stuff. I got like a tiny little handful of it, and this stuff is just going crazy. I want this tank to be heavily planted. It already pretty much is. It just needs to kind of grow out and extend, and this tank is going to be marvelous. My favorite fish in here is easily the glass knifefish. This guy is a sweet fish to have in your tank, and he is just a cool addition. Not many people keep these. They are easy to find, and they are relatively cheap, but they are a cool addition to this tank, and I love having them. There is a Mexican Jork crayfish in the back right there. I love that guy too. He's really cool. He always likes to climb, and sometimes he even climbs out, and I gotta be careful because he easily could climb out of this tank, so I gotta kind of watch him. Other than that, what else is in here? I really don't like this albino cory. I don't know why, but he's just gonna have to do for now. I got a panda cory in here, and then there's some other small cories. There's one up towards the top. Oh, and then I got my hatchets. I love my hatchet fish. There's 5 in here, and I really don't know what happened to the other one. It was a bigger one, like 2 times their size that I had in the hexagon tank, and I really don't know where it went. So that's a quick rundown of the 25 extra high. We're gonna head downstairs and kind of tour my brother's 55-gallon community tank. Alright guys, we are down in my brother's room. He does need to fill his tank. He was going to do a water change today. But this tank evaporates like crazy. And yes, he does have a lot of fish in here, but he does do a pretty well job of keeping it clean and everything. It does look a little dark right now, but like I said, he's doing a water change today. He has loads of fish in here. Massive bio load, so he tries to do one every week. He has some nice looking black skirt tetras. These things are like some of the biggest I've ever seen. Same with the Danios. These guys can get really big. He got some cherry barbs in there. Lots of different kinds of tetras, serpes. These guys are my favorite. I'm not totally for sure on the kind of those. They came when they were smaller. They just had the white fins and stuff, but they are really cool as they get older. He has black skirts, clown pleco, banjo catfish. There's an upside down catfish over by the heater over there. Let's see, he has a massive pleco in there along with the clown. And there is a black ghost knife, and there's one of the banjos right there actually. He has 3 banjo catfish in here, and they're all about 5 inches long. They're crazy big. They just get long. They're not very wide. They just are long and skinny. And there is his Crabimpsis cichlid. That thing is doing very well in here, and love it when it colors up. He does have a Pacu in here, which I'm surprised actually hasn't ate in his plants. Where did he go? There he is, right there. This Pacu is almost doubled in size, and he knew that from the first part, but he's always kind of wanted a Pacu. So far it hasn't demolished his plants yet, which I'm kind of surprised. Anubis usually holds up really well. Well, we'll see in the future. He's been in here for almost 2 weeks now, and he is like getting pretty large. Pacus are always cool, but they just get massive, and they're just not a very well kept aquarium fish because they get huge, and you need a massive tank for these guys. He does plan to add an eel in here eventually. He's always kind of wanted an eel, like one of those peacock eels or tire track or one of the two. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tank. I love coming down and watching this tank too. These guys are always constantly looking for food because they are massive and they are well fed. So we're going to go ahead and head over to my dad's office and give you a little tour of his barb tank. Alright guys, I got a chance to go into my dad's office. Here's his tank. His office is pretty cool. What he has in this tank, it's a 32-gallon Bowfront or a 36. I'm not totally for sure on the gallon. He has a pretty cool setup in here. He has some, well, right now the power head's blown on the bottom, so I need to put the power head back up and fix it because it's blowing the sand all over the place. He has fake plants in here because these barbs will just destroy the live plants. People have even tried Anubis with them. We have Anubis in with them at our store, and they get shredded. He does have some live lily pads that have been growing, but they just cannot keep up with the barbs trying to chow them down and everything. So what he has in here is he has one normal common pleco, let's see, 5 roseline sharks, which are really cool, or they're called roseline barbs. There's honestly so many different names for these guys. And then Flementosa barbs. These are really cool fish. They do get big. The roselines get really big too eventually. They may not honestly be able to all fit in this tank because they get to like 8 inches. And then one of the rarer fish he has in here, he has a Pandagera. Pandageras aren't honestly often seen in the aquarium hobby. And if they are, they're not too expensive, but they are kind of seasonal. So when you can get them, if you see them, get them because they are super cool algae eaters. And just a really cool fish to have in your tank. I honestly don't know where it is. It's probably hiding behind this rock right here. But they're really cool fish, and if you see them, get them because sometimes they don't last long because most of them are seasonal and everything. So that's a quick rundown of my dad's tank. I really like coming over and seeing this every now and then. His roseline sharks are getting really big. He has, let's see, I'll give you a close-up and kind of explain a little more right now. So walking up to the tank, you can see pretty much everything. Obviously, the power head needs to be fixed because it's stirring up the sand and moving plants and everything. But this is just an overall just cool tank. It's an office tank, so he has 2 really, really small roseline barbs, then 2 medium-sized, and then 1 that is just large. They all kind of were bought at separate times because they weren't all brung in at the same time. We got a couple at a time at our store and stuff, and yeah, so, and then when they did come in, they came in different sizes. But anyways, really cool tank. I love these fish. It's so mesmerizing to watch the roseline sharks or roseline barbs school. They're just amazing fish, and they are beautiful once they get older. This one's starting to mature really well. It has that nice red line right up to its nose right there. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. I'm going to head back to my house, and we are going to talk just a little bit more, and that's going to be a wrap for the video. Hey guys, I'm back. This is actually a couple days after I recorded this video. I did get really busy. I did happen, sorry for the glare, I fixed the saltwater tank and it's filled and running. Sorry about the pitch dark but I left this on and everything so you can see me a little bit, and I didn't want to turn these lights on because they're super bright and it just gets a lot of glares in the screen and everything. Other than that, I do have it up and running. So there's going to be lots more videos coming out on that soon. Hopefully we can get some fish in it soon. Other than that, I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you see you on the next one. Don't forget to be the fish and get outdoors. Peace!